They told me she died in her cell, said it was a stroke, said there was nothing anyone could have done, said it was quick. They mailed me an urn, a death certificate, and a typed letter that ended with, "We're sorry for your loss." I was 23. I buried the urn in my aunt's backyard. No service, no grave, no questions, just silence. Because when your mother dies in prison, they don't expect you to ask for more. Her name was Selina Ward. She got 6 years for a forged check and unpaid fines. She was poor, black, no record before. But she was sentenced anyway, and 3 years in, gone. I grieved hard and fast, then I tried to forget. Until 2 years later, I saw her on a bus. I was on the Green Line, headed home from a late shift. It was raining. I was half asleep, earbuds in, head against the window. Then I saw her, outside, on the other side of the street, walking in a group, dressed in grey, hair shaved, surrounded by 2 men in private security vests. I swear my heart stopped. She turned her head, just slightly, and I saw her face. My mother, alive. The bus kept going. I jumped off 3 stops later, ran back. But they were gone. I spent the next week trying to convince myself I was wrong. That grief plays tricks, that I saw a look-alike, but I couldn't stop shaking. So I started digging. I filed a request for her prison records, got denied, tried again, got a short file. No mention of autopsy, no coroner's report, no chain of custody for the body, just death verified by facility MD, cremation authorized per state contract. No witness signature, no family consent, nothing. I went to the crematorium listed, it was closed, permanently. The address was a mailbox. I checked the registry. The license had been revoked, a year before her death. That's when I knew she hadn't died, she'd been disappeared. I started mapping all the prisons she could have been transferred to, cross-referenced with private facilities, looked at contracts, found one that matched the security logo I saw that night. Enclave Rehabilitative Services. No website, no press. But a LinkedIn page for an HR recruiter who posted, "Hiring for day shift oversight, background in correctional labor preferred." Correctional labor? For a facility not listed in the state prison system? I called pretending to apply, got redirected, deadline. Then 2 days later, I got a message from an unknown number. "Stop calling, she's gone." That was the moment I stopped grieving and started fighting. The deeper I went, the more I realized they hadn't just disappeared my mother. They'd built a machine to make people like her vanish profitably. Enclave Rehabilitative Services wasn't a prison. It wasn't even officially licensed as a correctional facility. It was a secure behavioral transition site. A loophole. Technically not carceral, technically not open, technically legal, if you buried the trail deep enough. They took women with non-violent charges, mostly Black and Latina, with no families, no lawyers, no noise. They transferred them under medical watch clauses, declared them unfit for general population, then erased them. I found the whistleblower by accident. A former guard, fired for insubordination. He messaged me anonymously, said, "You're right, they're alive, but no one gets out. They keep them working." I asked, "Where?" He said, "Clothes, food packing, electronics, stuff for contract partners. Walmart, federal agencies, big names." I asked, "My mother?" Silence, then one word, "Ward." I cried for an hour, then I built the war plan. Step 1, get evidence. I leaked internal shift logs to a journalist at ProPublica. We traced transport vans. We mapped locations. We found 5 separate rehabilitation sites in 3 states, none listed in public databases. Step 2, go public. We ran the story, rehab or rendition, inside the shadow system of vanished inmates. It detonated. Congress opened a hearing. Civil rights orgs flooded the courts, and Enclave, they denied everything. Then I did what they didn't expect. I sued them, personally, for wrongful death. Because the moment they forged that death certificate, they crossed a legal line, and I had receipts. The judge allowed discovery. We got emails, transfer logs, and one file that broke it all open. Ward Selina, intake form, date 2 weeks after declared deceased, signed, stamped, scanned, with her photo, still alive. They tried to settle. I refused. We kept pushing. The state revoked Enclave's license. The DOJ raided 2 of their facilities. 57 women were released. 16 confirmed deceased on paper. Everyone alive. And then I saw her again. This time not on a bus, this time not in uniform, but in person, in court. She was thin, pale, but she stood, and when they asked her to state her name, she said, "Selena Ward, alive." We hugged for 5 minutes, didn't speak, just breathed. I don't believe in justice, not the kind they talk about on TV, but I believe in truth, and I believe in memory. Now I run a foundation. We track vanishing inmates. We fight for families. We make sure nobody disappears without a storm behind them. And every time I speak at a conference or on a panel and someone asks, "How did this all start?" I say, "They told me my mum was dead, but they didn't know I'd come looking. They said my mum died in prison. 2 years later, I found her working in a private facility. Now she's free, and so are 57 others. And we're just getting started. Thank you for watching. If you want to get more that kind of stories, press like and check out our channel.